Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Right, it's Tuesday. Tuesday is request day, and this particular map is a creator request. Has been on the waiting list for quite some time now. It's been up for the BonBonB Patreon vote 3 times, and 3 times it's been overlooked in favour of something else. Which surprises me, because this particular creator hasn't let us down with a bad map yet. So I've decided to queue jump it myself, get it right to the top, and let's have a look and see what it's all about. Today's map is Simplicissimus by Zosso. Now Zosso, as I've said before, we've seen a few times, and always high marks. Always high marks. There's your start location. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure you're all appetised for that. And then your resources are a little bit field painting-ish. But if you're a detail player, then you're probably going to be okay. And if you're vanilla, you can still play. You can play fine. You can play fine on this map. Right, okay, now, what do we need? There are a few bits. There's a realistic LUT, network extensions, 2 elevated train tracks, and a couple of bridges, and trees and things, but other than that, everything's good. Now I've got to say that the ruins on the side of the roads is a little bit bright for my liking on this particular map. Also, I'd like to let you know that while I was recording this fly through, I was actually talking with somebody online, and I didn't have my full attention. I'm sorry, I'm very, very sorry indeed. And so we're going to fly over a little bit of detailing error on this bridge, a little bit of glitch on the left. Now, see that? Little concrete glitch. I didn't stop. I'm sorry. I would have liked to have looked at that in a little bit more detail. For me, that was a perfect bridge running into a perfect intersection, and it wasn't. So that's BonBon trying to do 2 things at once and failing abysmally. Anyway, it's a very busy, very slick plopped intersection. Good choice, good heights on the flyovers, etc. Quite happy with that. And then we're staying elevated, which, considering this is the middle of town, I understand this area being an elevated section. We've got another intersection there before going into this bridge. It's a slick bridge. It's got the wind turbines there because it needs power. And so if we follow it down the other side, it's nice and slick. Once again, elevated, and it comes down to ground level here. That's the perfect use of elevated highways for my liking, I've got to say. Because now we're back down at ground level, we can randle off in either direction. I think we'll go this way. We go this way. This road here, intersection goes off there. Bridge off that way. Shall we have a quick look at that bridge? Shall we, while we're here? Yeah, that's nice. That's slick. There's some pine trees, I think, hiding underneath the highway, which I wouldn't like. I'd like to see them thinned out a little under the highway, but other than that, that's not too bad. And then we'll pour off this way and in towards another elevated section. The elevated section is actually a bridge over the rail, and then it comes down nice and smoothly on the other side. That's really gentle. Cannot state that enough. That is very nice indeed. Coming through the farmlands, and once again the farmlands have been very nice. Yes, field painting, and it looks amazing. It does look amazing. It looks way better than just leaving it completely vanilla, of course. Little road over rail, cannot complain about that at all either. Nice tree line on this particular road as well. The shadows being cast across the road, and up to this particular intersection here. And we turn right, we go off to the fog, but before we get to the fog, we've got some farms there with the dirt tracks around them as well. That's very nicely done too. Off to the rail. Now the rail starts with an elevated section with the old brick elevation. That's a very nice asset. I've got to be honest with you, I like that asset a lot. And I think Zosso does as well, because we're going to see it again in a moment. Slight elevation there, going across the bridge here, and back down the other side. Of course, if you want to use one of those yourself and you've never done one, you don't know how to start, I do have a custom bridge tutorial on the channel, and yeah, I think I'll try and remember to log that in at the end of the episode so you can go and watch and how that's done as well. But I show you a very basic way of doing it. What we're looking at here from Zosso is, well, this is expert level. This is expert level. But once again, a little bit of practice, you can be doing this too in just a few short hours. Or maybe a few short minutes if you're particularly skilled. Unlike me. Rail under road. We've got a little bit of intersection going on here, which goes into a tunnel, out a tunnel on the other side, and goes off towards the nether. So what, we go this way instead. Through the pine forests, nothing encroaching onto the lines, which is great work. Great work, nice to see. Very easy to get those trees a little bit too close to the railway line and have things catching into the overhead power lines, which is not healthy. Or also doesn't really matter at all, because it doesn't affect the game in the slightest. But of course, we are trying to do some sort of realistic looking simulation, aren't we? Aren't we? Aren't we? Better. Anyway, nice little rail over a shipping lane bridge there, and then, oh look, now that goes off to the fog off that way. But we'll do a little loop around here, and it loops back and under. This looks pretty low, but it's high enough. And then off here to what looks like a little railway siding area. Could be some sort of industrial area. We'll come back to this area a bit later on, actually. If we go back the way we came, loop back around that way, straight back over this bridge. Oh, it's a perfect bridge. Oh, nice, nice, nice. And then back down this way, we go into the tunnel, nicely detailed tunnel, and that comes out all the way over here in another industrial area, and once again nicely smoothly cut out of the hillsides there. And then we got a couple of options, a couple of routes here, including a smashed up bit of industrial rail line. This is nice, completely useless but nice. And much the same words have been said about me many a time. Useless but nice. Oh, there you go. This is why I don't get any romance in my life. Anyway, we'll just look at this a little bit more detail coming down to the quarry. That is really, really nicely worked, my friend. I could stand there and look at that a little bit longer. I thought that was a rock under there. It's not, it's concrete. That's fine. We'll carry on ignoring that. Yes. There are lots of things in here that we could spend, I mean, it's going to be about a 15-minute episode anyway. We haven't got time to hang around and look at everything. That's what the pause button's for. So pause it now. And now unpause it. Today's asset. I wanted to do last week, and for some reason, a bit like yesterday's map, it wouldn't load. It wouldn't jump into my content manager. But it is here now. It's Lucas Clinic by Armesto. We all love a little bit of Armesto, don't we? A little bit of continental buildings. This is pretty damn cool. Pretty damn nice. Of course, you can see the ambulances coming in and out. It is an operational clinic, a working clinic, and will actually serve a purpose. It's also a corner unit, so you can make better use of those corners rather than just, well, a bit of parking bay or whatever normally is what we do in it. It's nice to see a nice corner unit based on a real clinic in Lucas, in Galicia, in northern Spain. Thank you very much, Armesto. You've done a really nice job. Again, of course, again. Thank you. Right, it's time for the end of the asset review. Now off to Themington Island for this week's theme, which is the Woodlands 4K by Densient with the Wild Wilderness LUT by Scotland Tom. Do you remember him? He was one of the early pioneers of the great maps and stuff like that. If he was around now, could you imagine what he'd be producing? It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Okay, anyway, factoid time. Don't worry, we haven't run out. We've got about 30 seconds left. Don't worry. For many centuries, doctors examined their female patients in darkened rooms and underneath sheets. And if a man had to deliver a baby, he did it without looking. And I can state for a fact that if a man had to deliver a baby now, trained or not, they would do it without looking. It's a disgusting job. An American doctor back in the 80s used hypnosis to enlarge his female patient's breasts. He said it worked. It doesn't. I'll tell you what does work. I've got this really nice massage technique. Nice. I'm not going to tell you exactly how it works, but it does work, ladies. And if you want a little bit of a larger bosom, stick it down in the comments below, and I shall pop around a little bit later and help you out. Where were we? Shipping routes. Shipping routes back in Simplicissimus by Zosso. What we have here are shipping routes that go down the middle of rivers. And perfect again, right through the middle of that post, which means ships will go on either side of that. And all these bridges are high enough, and the shipping routes are perfect to avoid any shipping clipping. I don't know what more to say, really, apart from Zosso, you've done a good job there. Okay, next will be the water flow. Now, water flow won't surprise you. It won't surprise you, because what are we looking at here? Oh, look, a loop back. Look at that. We're looking at rivers, of course, and rivers tend to have water flow, and these are proper rivers, and they do have some sort of proper water flow going on. The water comes down here, emerges there, goes off to, let's go upstream a little bit, shall we? A little bit upstream like this. That's all good. Right, so then the next thing, I just want to point out that some of the water just looks a little bit too choppy for my liking for a river. Well, it's for a shipping route river. I mean, this ship coming against that weight of water would struggle. So there are a few places where there have obviously been water sources put down that look a little bit too choppy for my particular liking. Look at the detailing there. Look at the detailing there. Nice work. Zosso, nice work. Right, let's head up the water and have a look at what's going on. Perfect bridge. Nicely tooled riverbanks at a decent height, not too high, not too low. Everything's really good. And nice texture. Once again, very good choice of theme again to make it look good. Nice vanilla trees there being used for the farms. And this asset again. Oh, I thought we were glitching out a middle there, but no, it was just the light. Everything's good. Everything's very nice. We've also got some of these, I'm going to call them sewage farms. You can actually put your sewage outlets into those, and the stuff will be sucked away, pumped away, absolute free. And also over here as well, without having to pollute the rivers. So a couple of sewage farms, very good work indeed. Right, what else have we got to look at? This bridge. This bridge is glorious. Once again, we've seen the bridges put down with high skill level. This particular one, like I say, needs power, so we've got a couple of wind turbines there, and there are other options to get around that, but that is certainly one simple way of doing it. And of course the turbines, a lot of you like the look of the turbines. I'm not a fan of wind turbines personally. I don't know. I mean, yes, I understand we've got to have them. I'm not an old git that, coal power's the best way. No, I understand it. I understand we have to move forward. I just don't think they're as attractive as some people make them out to be. Right, we've got a Lighthouse Island with a lighthouse, a little path leading up to it. Oh, look, we've got livestock, a deer, all on his own on the island. At least he's got plenty to eat, I imagine. And yes, and the jetty and stuff. But for me, the most interesting part is this UFO. Well, it's actually a viewing point, clearly. And it's just been done brilliantly. When I saw this, I was taken aback. And the person that I was chatting to could hear me taken aback, because I was oohing and ahhing a lot. I don't want to see this in too many maps, guys. But as a one-off, I think this is quite unusual. It's outstanding work, and I just high praise also. High praise indeed. Aesthetically, it's a very nice looking map. Gotta say, I was a little bit put off by the ruin, on the colour of the ruin on the side of the road. Other than that, I love it. I love it perfectly. I'm going to give it 4 stars, only losing something for the ruins. The detailing, yes, that bridge glitching that we flew straight over and ignored, and I've got to say that I find some of the water a little bit too choppy for for shipping routes, but other than that, it's good. I'm giving that 4 stars as well. Gameplay potential is, I think, as high as you can go with this one. There's not really anything to fix other than a little bit move it on that first bridge. You might want to change the theme and that, you might not. But basically, I think this is a map that is set up, is ready to play, and I'm going to give it a perfect 5 for gameplay potential. What a lovely map, and I can't believe that we haven't got around to reviewing this one sooner. The problem is there's just so many good maps out there. Obviously, I can't give this map the BonBonB seal of approval because... Haha, just kidding you. Just kidding you. Yes, he gets the BonBonB seal of approval. Well, thank you very much, you guys. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, and for everything else. I've got lots of new stuff coming on the channel now. Loads of tutorials. I've got Let's Plays on other games as well now. So if you wanted to see me do something just a little bit different, I'm doing that too. Thanks to all my Patreon BonBon buddies. You guys are the best. You are really helping me out no end, and I love your feedback as well. So continue doing that. Thank you very much for that too. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.